Hey, Dave LaCali with Head Games Motorworks. Today we're going to do a teardown on a really fast 2JZ that's seen some action at World Cup Finals. Now, this isn't just an ordinary Supra, it's the Supra that crashed at World Cup Finals this year when it got wrapped up with Joel Granis. And now we're going to tear it down and take a look at what the carnage is after it's been beat on for quite a few passes. We're going to start at the top of the head, and you'll see there's a little bit of scuffing here and here, but man, the cam journals look good. The bucket holes look good. Now, this is the old way we used to clearance the head for cams. We used to put it on the bridge port. We used to just do it with an end mill, and that has long since changed. Now we do it on the CNC, so instead of seeing these end mill marks, you see little lines that go back and forth from the machine, but you know, everything else looks delicious. It looks really, really good. Now, we did the head quite a few years ago for Jamie Carter. So when Jamie Carter still owned the car, this was what we did for him, and it is stood the test of time. It's actually set world records. Back then, it was one of the fastest drag radial cars, or fastest IRS car in the country, and now it's not, but you know, back then it was. Nothing to write home about on the combustion chambers. I don't see anything really to talk about. It looks like everything was running really, really good. Vlad's a tuner. He's a bad dude, but it's seen a lot more than Vlad. The car has changed hands a couple times actually since Jamie owned the car. You will notice that it has part of the water jacket here is because the water jackets are completely, we used to do this, so we used to not be able to put so much heat in it. We would only weld up the part where it would actually see water come out of, and the deck surface, although dirty, looks fine to me. Stock seats, because, well, we didn't need any crazy material. We just needed to be able to seal, and we had no problems there either. Exhaust ports also look really good. There's actually just nothing I can point out and say, hey man, this is, I mean, understand that the failure that was going on here was really that the car crashed, and that's why the head's back here, because the motor is being gone through, but it is not because there was an actual issue. But we might have uncovered an issue, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Some of the cam caps had a little bit of scoring, nothing crazy, something that could just polish out. Nothing to really worry about here. These were the worst ones I pulled out, and I think this is actually the worst one, but you can barely feel it with your finger. There's that little piece in the center there. That is probably the worst part of it. Really, everything looks really good, considering it hit a wall and it was on fire. It looks really good. For valves, we got Faria custom. This used to be a custom Head Games Faria valve. We did a Comp Plus, but these were made of Pyromet. So Pyromet is the same stuff they use in Top Fuel, and we would get them in a 7mm stem diameter. So this right here would be 7mm, and then it would neck down to the 6mm, so it can use a stock lock. And we used to do that for pretty much all of the top 2JZ cars back in the day. And it's a 1mm over, and we have a 1mm over intake valve. Also, so we had, that's what that looks like. You can see there is some heat or some oil on the edge of that. It does looks like it got hit by something, man, but I don't know. I don't know if that's from taking it apart or it's actually something to worry about. You see how there's like oil on the edges there. You can see that. Now on the intake valves, I saw a little bit of valve float, and I was a little concerned, so I refaced a couple of valves, and they're fine. I didn't see any issues with the valves at all, actually. At least thus far, I haven't found anything wrong. I haven't refaced all of them, as you can tell, but I refaced 2 of them, and everything looks good. So the buckets, you can see that there is some damage to some of these buckets. I would say that part of that is some contamination, but there actually is another issue, and that's what we're going to go over pretty shortly. But the buckets, I think, are trashed. I think we're going to have to replace them all, and I'm not a big fan. We're going to replace them with another OEM. Hopefully Vlad will go for that, but because of the other issue that's going on. But you can see like there's a lot of issues going on here. I imagine the cams don't look so good either. You can see it's almost metal to metal here, and that's what causes a bucket issue. Usually it's oil starvation, and some people think oil starvation means that it's valve float or there's no oil there. They're like, I had oil pressure, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it's because it's oil's displacement. So during valve float, oil will get displaced. So some people will say, I get this when people have failures and they want to say, well, I had oil pressure, but oil pressure and oil presence are two different things. When you have oil displacement, which means that during a valve flow, you would have an issue where the cam is hammering on the bucket and it's displacing the oil that should be there. You have like an oil starvation issue there. And you would also get that if the oil was contaminated by fuel, because these things run on alcohol, and then you're gonna have maybe not some oil displacement, but oil viscosity issue. So even though you have oil pressure, it is possible that you would not have oil present because it's like water. The intake cam looks really good. I don't really see much issue with it. You can tell something went in the oil and it got into the cam journal, but it didn't go through all of them. Now it's going to oil the intake cam last, but look at that. I don't think it works bad at all. Considering what it went through, I mean, I see like a little bit on here on the lobe, a little bit of displacement, but otherwise it does not match the bucket. You can tell here. So this is the acceleration side of the camshaft. And if you have issues with float, that's where you're going to find it. It's going to be on the acceleration side of the cam. It's going to get beat up, and you can see like a little line right there. That little line right there, that's from a little bit of float, but that's nothing crazy. I've seen it way, way worse. And you guys are a fan of the channel. If you're not, you'd see what I'm talking about whenever I do this. But this looks really good. The exhaust cam looks really beat up. You see here, that journal looks pretty hurt. That journal looks hurt. And those lobes look really, really hurt. That is definitely a lack of lubrication. Those look kind of okay and kind of okay. I mean, there's really nothing too crazy, but that one lobe looks pretty bad. And some of the journals look like they got something going through it. But this one is that's pretty bad. I think you'd have to just replace it, or sometimes we can polish them. We'd have to check that out. Maybe we can polish it. All right, so we have a GSC cam with a OEM bucket. Is it the cam the problem, or is there something else? And we're going to show you this something else. So back in the day, we used to use the Furea valve spring. And this is not to throw Furea under the bus. I want you to understand this, that they've actually changed the design of this valve spring because there was an issue. I uncovered an issue that we had some failures, and I think a lot of failures happened with the GSC cams. Everybody was thinking that it was taking out the buckets because the cams are too hard. But there was another issue that was going on, and that is that the valve springs that everybody was using, I think Furea was much bigger in that market at the time. And the problem is that the valve spring just doesn't fit in the hole. And here you can see this is a no-go gauge, and this is 28 millimeter. This is the same size as the pocket that's in the cylinder head, and the valve spring just doesn't go in. So this is the locator for it, and the locator goes right in. So they know what size it's supposed to be, but the call out is that. Now they told me it was my opinion at the time that this was actually an issue, but you can see that that is an actual issue. We actually had some that coil bound, and that's how we found out, because I was never measuring the outside diameter of the spring. I never thought I really needed to. They did fit tight, but they fit. At least they felt like they fit, but you can't really see it in the 2J. And the reason why that's an issue, especially on the exhaust. So I'm gonna try to light this up for you guys. You can see how deep this spring pocket is possibly. On the exhaust side, so on the intake side, it is not as deep. So when you put the locator in, the locator brings the spring outside of the pocket on the intake side. On the exhaust side, the spring pocket is still deeper than where the locator is going to sit. So the spring actually has to go into the pocket, and because the spring is bigger than the pocket, it never reaches it. And for illustration purposes, you can see this thing, it kind of fits there, but you try to put it here, it seems like it fits. Like it feels snug in there because it does kind of go into that hole, but it never really actually reaches the hole. And you can't tell because, I mean, I can't even video it because you can't really get in there, and it kind of looks right. And that's why we made a no-go gauge, so we can double check our springs and make sure that we're good, because we had an issue with a couple guys and we had some failures, and it's not fun to lose customers because of a product that you trusted. Now what can happen here, and has happened, is that the valve spring will reach coil bind on the exhaust side only. Now, not all valve springs are created equal. Sometimes a batch will be closer to coil bind or farther away from coil bind. If you have that spring that's tight to bind, and then you put these cams in, and these have a lot of lift to them, and you have a coil bind situation, you're gonna have a failure on your hands, and it takes out the bucket. Now you can tell that the buckets weren't wasted, so we did have a little bit of distance to coil bind, but you could tell that some of them were tighter than others, and it had a lot of spring pressure, and it was up out of the spring pocket, and that's just it. Back in the day, we didn't check the OD, and we started checking them, and as I said, we went into making a gauge so that way we can rectify that problem. We're humans. We don't check everything until something happens. And that's exactly what happened to me. Something happened. I told Faria, and as I said, I'm not trying to throw Faria under the bus. Faria has changed them like a decade ago. So these are really old, and the new springs, they fit fine. What does the future hold for this cylinder head? Well, I'm going to try to talk Vlad into doing what we do now. Just bring it up to date. I think the cylinder head's fine. It's totally repairable. We can just rebuild it. We would have to change the exhaust guides. I would put the GSE power division. We went to a 6.5 millimeter stem. We've had really good luck with that valve. Actually never had any issues. And the biggest problem with the 7 millimeter that is in here now is the custom valve. So if you want one, it takes weeks to get it, and we can just get the 6.5 millimeter off the shelf at GSE, and I would get away from the spring kit no matter what. That spring kit is dead in the water here. We would go to the GSE 5086. The 5086 is a conical spring. It has more seat pressure, it has more open pressure, and it's in all the fastest 2JZs that I know of, and it works great. And then on the camshaft side, I think it's going to need an exhaust cam. Other than that, I think we're good to go. So that's going to do it for us today. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. And if you want to see the refresh on this head, if you want to see what goes into that, be sure to like, subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you want to see. Toodles.